Hi, I'm Michelle Renee Hiatt of American Quilter Society, and we are at AQS QuiltWeek Paducah. We are in the Wall Quilts Quilter's Choice category, which is sponsored by Elna, and I have the pleasure of being with Jackie Perry in front of her beautiful quilt, Heart and Soul, and it took first place in this category. So Jackie, tell me a little bit about how you started this quilt.
This is a whole cloth quilt, and I started with photographs that I got from an adult coloring book, and I contacted the artist and got permission from her to use her artwork, and so then I just started designing the quilt from that artwork.
So the motifs are are from the coloring
yes.
book, and so how did you go about translating that into how you were going to hand quilt it? Because this entire quilt is hand quilted.
Yes, yes. Well, first of all, I use an overhead projector. I did it on paper and then traced it onto the fabric and marked it with the blue marker.
I was going to ask what you use, because a lot of hand quilters or people learning to hand quilt always ask about that. Like, what do I mark it with? What do I trust? How do I get it out?
Right. So I used the blue marker and water soluble and marked everything, and then did the sandwich and started quilting on it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with the blue marker afterwards? Are you
use cold water and just soak it, and the blue marker comes out.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And you trust it because it's on white,
yeah.
or cream, your background. So
I actually had
it takes a lot of trust.
Yeah, I actually had one quilt where I used the blue marker and it didn't come out. And I figured out it was because I had it in the sunshine, and the heat sets the blue marker. So don't do that.
So if you're a hand quilter or wanting to learn to, don't put it in the sun.
Yeah.
So then after you got your motifs done, then you had to connect them, right?
Yes.
So, and then how'd you go about figuring out that design?
Well, I just did it on because it's a whole cloth quilt, and I just laid it out the way that I wanted to as far as the paper that I used, because I did the whole thing on paper and then translated it onto the fabric.
But just with the connection and then your echo
yeah.
of the different patterns.
Right.
It's beautiful. Then you did some ruching.
I did
which
ruching.
we're starting to see a lot of is the ruching. So
yeah. I've been doing that for a long, long time, and actually Linda Roy, who's a famous quilter, taught me how to do that. And I did ruching and stuff work and trapunto, and there's crystals and
so how do you go about, and I'm making a face because I kind of know the inside story here, but how do you go about knowing when it's enough of the bedazzlement?
Yeah, well, I had a lot more crystals on it when I first started, and then I decided I didn't like all those crystals on there, so I took them all off, and I did a lot of embroidery and stuff instead. So yeah,
and I have a lot type of
yeah, and a lot of beadwork. There's a lot of beadwork on here. So
and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what is this just another ruching inside of the ruching?
There's a large ruche flower and a small ruche flower.
I love the green. So, and then you did the trapunto as well.
And the
stuffing. It is just beautiful.
Yeah.
We're so thrilled to have it here.
Oh, thank
and
you.
Congratulations on
you.
first place.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to see it at Grand Rapids, so I'm interested to see how it does there.
Yeah.
But thank you for entering our quilt contest.
Yeah.
So you too can enter our contest at AmericanQuilter.com. You can find the deadlines and the requirements and all the categories that you have to choose from. We hope to see your quilt and you at a future Quilt Week.